Hey friends, hope you're having a nice day, and today we're gonna be playing Greymane at the Dragonshire. So let's have a little bit of a talk about Greymane and what he is like right now as a hero, because he is, in my opinion, a pretty solid pickup, like for Hero League, for anything you want to do, because he has that unique ability, which I don't think can be matched by anybody else in the Heroes of the Storm, is to get kills, like to finish off people that were brought down to low health to the point where they can be killed and should be, and that in itself is a huge benefit, a huge boon for your team, always, in my opinion, because very often, like, you see people running away with like 10% life, and you just wish, like, okay, if only we got that kill, it would have been so different. It would have been so okay, so Alrak kind of saved us from a little bit of an anti-synergy for Alrak and Artanis there, but that's fine. So yeah, as I said, getting kills is so damn important right now in the game, I feel like. So as Greymane, you can kind of go for two builds. The first build, my favorite one, is you kind of amplify your working form and your basic attack damage as much as possible, and that's kind of it. Like, you go for Wolfheart, you go for, where is it? 6 skin, maybe, like this level tier. It's actually kind of more situational, like you pick whatever you need best. Then at level 7 you maybe go for Wizened Duelist. If not, like, if you don't feel like you're gonna be getting a lot of kills, you might want to pick up Quicksilver Bullets, and then you pick the correct ultimate. This is actually kind of interesting, because Greymane has a lot of talent choices too, right? Like, most heroes have, like, you only pick these talents every time, right? But as Greymane, like, now that I look at it, yes, there are two builds, but everywhere in between those builds, there are so many situational talents. Just so many situational talents, so that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. So yeah, and like, the second build you can go for is the cocktail one, and I'm not really a huge fan of the cocktail build, primarily because of the current, like, meta, almost. Like, you have this sustained heavy team comps with double warrior and everything, so you probably won't be getting too much value from those. Even if you stack your cocktail and land them all the time, you're probably not going to get much done with them, right? But when you go for the auto attack build, you are guaranteed to kill those warriors, right? And that's kind of what makes Greymane kind of strong, in my opinion, right now. So, but let's first talk about his abilities. So first of all, we have Gilnean Cocktail, and what it does is it sends this cocktail. So basically, it's a skill. Okay, give me. This is ridiculous. This Chromie is insanely good. It is so dumb. Oh my god, it's actually funny. That was actually funny. So basically, we have this skill shot, and if it collides with any enemy, it will send out a splash behind them, based on how you aim it, and it can be good. It's definitely good for poking and for getting, like, a little bit of damage onto the backline if you can do that. But without the build, I don't know if it's really worth using. You can kind of combo the cocktail and your dark flight for a wave clear. Like, let me maybe show you here in a second after the wave gets pushed in a little bit. So basically what you do, you send out this cocktail, and you jump in and razor swipe, but it doesn't even clear the wave. So I feel like when you're doing that, you just waste mana on cocktail, because you will still need 2 razor swipes to clear the wave after that. But that's something you can do. Then you have your Inner Beast, and this is like the primary ability for Greymane. Oh no, okay, she actually stopped. She made a mistake of stopping. And I think I killed myself. Yep. I killed myself because instead of using Razor Swipe and then Disengaged, I just used the Disengage because I was kind of panicking versus Artanis and Chromie there. But here, Inner Beast, your primary ability on Greymane, because it gives you 50% attack speed. Like, it amplifies your DPS output by 50%. And obviously that's pretty damn awesome. Because, I mean, Just think about it, 50% DPS. So the way it works, you activate it and you get 50% attack speed for 3 seconds. and every basic attack you do refreshes the duration. And don't think Vala here, right? When Vala stacks her trait, she needs to land abilities in order to keep those stacks going. Greymane doesn't need to actually land his strikes. Just like auto attacking is enough to refresh the duration. You don't actually need to land the auto attack, so you can be blinded. So you can be blinded. You can be like, you can attack Illidan, for example, and you will still be refreshing your inner beast because it's based off of your attack, not whether the projectile hits. I hope that helps. Like, that's actually very important, and it gives some tactical advantage if you use it properly. I don't know why this Ragnaros keeps using Molten Core just in the completely random spots. I probably should help. Oh, well played by our tennis there. I don't know why Zerath will re-engaged. Okay, let's actually disengage because they have Chromie lurking somewhere, and we don't have a healer in this game, so that's kind of ridiculous. Okay, and then your next ability in your human form, by the way, is Dark Flight. So what this does is you shapeshift into a Worgen, immediately deal 130 damage, and like in one of the recent patches, Greymane was kind of buffed, and now he... That was stupid. He was buffed a little bit, and now every time he shapeshifts into... Not shapeshifts, but if Greymane is in Worgen form, he gets passively 10 armor. So he gets 10% damage mitigation from any sources, which is very helpful. Like, it's not really something that will... Okay, she actually got the kill, good job. It's not really something that will carry you through a fight, right? But it's a little bit, slightly helpful, good stuff. Helps Greymane sustain a little bit better. And one of his ultimates was changed to Cursed Bullet. So yeah, let's talk about our ultimate now. Our ultimate choices now. So we have Cursed Bullet, which does 35 solid maximum health damage to anybody, except vehicles. So for example, on Dragonshire, somebody will turn into a dragon and try to push your structures. You cannot use Cursed Bullet against them. If you do, they will just take 0 damage, right? And Cursed Bullet always deals 35% health, so obviously if you use it on... I actually don't know that. Like, if for example you use it on somebody who has 1 health, will it do 0 damage or will it do 1 damage, right? I actually don't know how that works. But that's definitely something you can be considering there. I don't know why Chromie was so excited to fight there. I actually lost my stacks of inner beasts here, so clearing this camp will be kind of painful and slow, but it's still kind of good enough. Like, Greymane is actually one of the best PvE heroes in the game, just simply by default. So I will just give you some numbers, right? So for example, at level 1, Greymane, just simply by doing his auto attacks in Worgen form, plus using his inner beast, does somewhere around 300 DPS, right? Li Ming, using her Qs on cooldown and using her auto attacks, does 200 DPS, and Zul'jin at 0% health, with his trait on, does 350 DPS. And those are kind of like numbers for you to kind of go... I like to compare to Greymane, right? I hope that explains why... Oh no, I actually didn't think... I actually got that kill, but I didn't think that our tennis would go in for that, like I thought we were disengaging, but I could have done a better job killing them. So, yeah, like... So, because of the DPS Greymane has by default, he is extremely strong on maps like Battlefield of Eternity, Haunted Mines, or even like Cursed Hollow. Okay. Or even like Cursed Hollow at times, because you can get that... you can kill bosses super quick with your team. So you can like sneak an enemy boss or yours boss, and that can help a little bit. So like on every map, Greymane kind of excels. And at level 20, especially on Brex's holdout, I absolutely love it. At level 20, you pick up either Hunter's Blunderbuss or Tooth and Claw, and you just choose your Zerg like super fast. So that's definitely pretty cool. So also a neat little trick you can do with your Dark Flight is, I'm gonna try and show you. Well, that's not gonna happen there. So look at that minion. Like, okay, that minion has too little health to show you this. Do we have a camp somewhere? Let's go to this mercenary camp. So just look at the numbers, look at the damage numbers and what happens. So we jump in, and like that, like you can reset your auto attack timing by razor swiping like a split second after you land. So what happens is you jump in, you get one auto attack super fast, like right after you jump in, and then you razor swipe and auto attack again. And that's actually very helpful when trying to kill somebody, right? Because you want to do as much damage as possible in that split second duration. So that's definitely helpful. Okay. That was a questionable decision. And this is also a
shall be remembered.
Oh, that ultimate finally getting the value. That was stupid. I wasn't even able to razor swipe. I think that should not be the case, because I think Vala can vault out of the ultimate, right? Maybe I'm just wrong. Because I wasn't able to razor swipe. I thought that maybe I will razor swipe and land an auto attack on Zarya, and that way I will kill her. But obviously that's this Chromie is trying to Chromie flanks too good. Okay, so what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the auto attack timing in the wolf form. Also, like that was one way of doing that auto attack reset, like min-maxing your auto attacks while starter stepping. The other one you can do and should be doing as Greymane is always use razor swipe only after you auto attack. So think like Ragnaros, right? You want to reset your Qs, so you, like for example, we have an auto attack, then razor swipe. That's a very simple concept, right? But it really helps. It really does help. What else did I want to say here? Oh yeah, Greymane, like the ability to get kills, I feel like it's kind of underestimated. So Greymane is pairing up, like he has extremely amazing synergy just with all mages, like by default. All of the mages, Greymane is so good with them, because you can get those... I will kill both of them, right? Lol. Okay. That should not have happened. I should have been dead to Zeratul because I lost my inner beast somehow. I don't know how I lost it, but if I had that inner beast, I would have been a lot more confident with killing Zeratul there. Oh, I think I lost it because Alarak used his Unstoppable and I decided not to attack anything, right? That's probably what happened there, but that was good enough. So yeah, Greymane can do some crazy stuff like that, like you can go 1v2 and actually win them. Because if people don't crouch control you, or blind you, or like do anything to you, if they just tank your damage, you're gonna destroy them. And that's where the Greymane's weakness comes into play, because he's such a dive-heavy hero. The fact that you can... This Zarya. But we survived again. Okay, good stuff. We survived again. Good stuff, good stuff. We have 4 stacks of our Wizened Duelist. Yeah. So yeah, since you are such a heavy dive, very dive heavy hero, you can be punished for it extremely. Especially with after Varian was added to the game, like he just shuts you down, like no big deal. Like he just stuns you, taunts you, and then you'll just die to Jaina or to Liming or whatever, and you can't really play around that. So I think that because of the fact how easy it is to kill a bad Greymane, he's a very good hero to practice. Like he's a very good hero to learn the game. Because you will get punished if you overextend, and you can... I don't know, it just kind of makes sense to me, right? And the weirdest part about Greymane is when he was released, like you might think that he's probably so hard to play, right? You have 2 sets of basic abilities, which I haven't talked about just yet. I should have. Like, you have 2 sets of basic abilities depending on your human or working form, so it's probably hard to play him. But they just make sense, right? After you shapeshift, you don't feel like you... Oh no, what do I do now? Like, I got this new set of abilities. You just immediately know what your abilities do. So let's talk about them. When you shapeshift into a working form, you get 2 new abilities. It's Razor Swipe, like you swipe forward, doing slightly less damage than you would do with your normal auto attack, but slightly less damage than you would do with your normal auto attack, but it's definitely worth using without a doubt. Wow, that block from Sixskin is so good. Like, he attacked me and I took almost no damage. And the second ability you get is Disengage, which makes you roll into like a chosen direction, and you mid-roll you shapeshift into a human and get your ranged auto attacks back. Also, it's really worth noting that when you are inside your working form, you actually do 40% more damage with your auto attacks, which is obviously really damn helpful. What was that? Yeah, right, you become melee when you shapeshift into Worgen, but you get 40% auto attack damage. So that's kind of why I think that the auto attack build for Greymane is just so much better. I don't know what this Chromie is thinking. I also kind of overextended there. If they weren't all dead, I probably would have died there, but luckily they were dead, and I thought that it was a safe engage. Like, Chromie has no HP. You can kill her with what, 4 auto attacks and some razor swipes, and that's it. So that's pretty cool. So one of my favorite talents for Greymane is actually Unfettered Assault. And the reason for that is because you can start using your Dark Flight to body block. Because previously you have only a little bit of range on your razor swipes. Like, it might help you catch up to something, but probably not. But with this 40%, actually 60% extra range on your razor swipe, you can actually use it like your Dark Flight here, and then you immediately razor swipe, and that's how you body block somebody, right, and get that kill for your team, which can be good if you know how to body block. And you should be starter stepping as Greymane all the time. His auto attacks in working form especially are very fast. Oh no, I actually popped Artanis' counter-strike there. Not Artanis', but what's his face? Alarax. Why do they do that? I just kill them. They just think that they are so safe behind the walls, but they aren't. They aren't. So yeah, like, your auto attacks are casted very fast. Like, you don't even need to stand around there. Like, the moment Greymane lifts his hand up, the auto attack also has already landed. So you can kind of attack, move, super fast, super convenient. So I definitely like that. I probably should be going for the core now, but I feel like getting this keep. So let's disengage for just a second. So yeah, let's talk about our ultimates now. We have our Cursed Bullet. That's solid 35% of their current health, not maximum. So as I said before, if they have 1 health, they probably won't die, because it will do 0 damage, stuff like that. And you obviously want to be using on high health tanks, so that your teams then can burst them down. You become a pseudo Tychus when you pick this one. And then you have the other ultimate, is Go for the Throat. It does solid 800 damage. It's actually probably more damage than the Cursed Bullet would do, even to a tank probably, but it's helpful. Like, let's actually check it. So that was what, 900 damage onto our tennis there. If I actually attacked Zeratul there from the start instead of switching to our tennis, we would have killed Zeratul super fast there, but there we go. I mean, Greymane is amazing right now, in my opinion.
MVP.
Yeah, so yeah, you do a little bit more damage with the Cursed Bullet. Like, I actually think that maybe it's not a good ultimate now. Like, we only did 900 damage to our tennis there, so what's the point? If I can just cast Go for a Throat and then cast it again. And by the way, when using your ultimates, you also shapeshift. So if, first of all, you can use your ultimates in either form, like, and you will be immediately shapeshifted into the form the ultimate is designed for, right? So a neat little trick you can do as Greymane is you shapeshift into Worgen, get a couple of auto attacks in, you Razor Swipe, and then if they disengage from you, like if they outrun you, you use your Disengage to chase them a little bit, land like 1, maybe 2 auto attacks with your ranged weapon, and then you use Go for a Throat to shapeshift back into the wolf form, and if that kills them, you just disengage. If it doesn't, you can then continue razor swiping and getting those strong auto attacks from the Worgen form to kill somebody, which is definitely helpful. Definitely a good thing to do. The same, you can use it like in mid-fights to maybe retarget somebody. Like after you get a kill with the Go First Road, you can then disengage, get some distance towards the next enemy who might be like running away or just trying to zone you. But after you go first road, like let's say there is Artanis in the front line, you kill him with the go first road. Now there is Malfurion in the back line who runs away from you. You can then use Razor Swipe towards Malfurion, use Disengage towards Malfurion, and then you cast Go First Road, jump onto Malfurion, and continue attacking him with your basic attacks. But as I said before, you should not overextend as Greymane, because it's just so easy to kill you. You have some escape when you're in the Worgen form, like I kind of tried to do it this game, you maybe saw it, like when I was converged onto by the enemy team, I always tried to save my Razor Swipe to dodge their skill shots or to get some distance, and only after I cannot use Razor Swipe anymore, like when I really need to get out, only then you use Disengage, right? But as long as you maintain some distance from your enemy, always use Razor Swipes. Disengage should always be your last resort option. And yeah. Also, if you are finding yourself in an unfavorable situation, you kind of want to just shapeshift into a Worgen form and use Razor Swipes to run away. Don't try to run away in the human form, it probably won't work out for you, unless you can somehow dodge all of the skill shots. But it's easier to dodge them in the Worgen form, obviously. So as I said before, I'm not a huge fan of the cocktail build. Double tank, it just doesn't seem to do enough damage to kill them, whereas with the auto attack build, with the Alpha Killer, with the Wizened Duelist, and Tooth and Claw, you can just chew through the front line so damn fast. Worth mentioning that Tooth and Claw doesn't actually benefit from Alpha Killer. Alpha Killer only does extra damage to the primary target, which makes sense, obviously. Also, Greymane is amazing. Like if the enemy team picked up Murky, or let's say Lost Vikings, pick up Greymane, I'm telling you, you're gonna have a great time. First of all, Greymane can kill Murky super fast. Unless Murky goes for the fish tank at level 13, that's when he gets a lot of armor, but even then I think you still win the fight. Maybe not as easily, from that point on you would need some support from your teammates, but that's not the point. The point is that every time Murky dies, you get 3% more basic attack damage. And that's what awesome. Like you can just charge up to 30% simply from Murky, and then you just like two-shot Li Ming, for example, which is really helpful. Same goes for Vikings, like they tend to die a lot, so Greymane can get those stacks relatively easily. And yes, the other talent Greymane has is at level 16, you go for Executioner. Oh my god. And I said before, like the double warrior meta, lots of sustain, lots of crowd control. Greymane actually can benefit from that. Like if you go for the Executioner, you will just have that extra damage all the time. Like your team will just provide you so much crowd control, so you can just get that extra damage for free. And synergy with mages, right? I already said that they also provide you that crit damage. Like Jaina slows, Kelta stuns, obvious stuff. And also, I don't remember if I said this, but Cursed Bullet, it doesn't work on the vehicles, right? You have your Dragon Knights, Garden Terrors, those things, you would do 0 damage to them. But it does, in fact, on Molten Core from Ragnaros. You can actually hit him for 35% damage, 35% of his current health. And that's like 30% of his ultimate duration just gone. Of his straight duration just gone, which is obviously really, really potent. And, I mean, Cho'Gao, I think that's obvious. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. I would love to hear your feedback in the comment section. As always, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.